Sorry, bear with me 1 second. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Now, I needed to have the relaxing music on because, baby, this one is a doozy. All right. So basically, what happened is there's a user called Alex McDonald that's come on my Facebook who are obviously my perp neighbors from upstairs. And predictably, like they always do, every single time they have to face some kind of accountability for their actions, every single time they want to get a rise out of me, every single time they want to, try to paint me out to be the villain, they always want to bring the kids up. So I'm going to walk backwards. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this post that I made right here was actually the first one that they commented on. And I'm going to show you this now. Hang on, let me switch mics. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. 1 2 1 2. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Okay, so this is the first post that I made that I need to read to you guys now. Well, it's not the first post that I made about the incident, but it's the post that incited like this whole thing about the kids and bullying the kids. Okay, so let's go, right? So, hang on. Gotta reverse this somehow. Oh, I can't reverse this. Oh, yeah. All right, so one of my posts was, the kids don't feel safe around me and I won't pretend I don't understand why. But they failed to notice that even when I was a blind rage, it didn't occur to me to harm them. Okay, so let's investigate the comments to this, right? So, okay, so this is the comment I wrote underneath it. I really could give a fuck how those brats feel given that they started this whole 3-year crap to begin with. But evidently, even when I hate them, I care more about their safety than their own elders. These people will use their kids' fear as shields when the consequences break the damn locks rather than just being decent people and teaching their kids to do the same. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I say these perps don't think. Forget what comes out of my mouth behind closed doors. What happened when I met the family face to face? Who did I want to get buck with? When I got so angry I could barely see straight, the kids weren't on my mind. It's supposed to be on, but it says all. The kids weren't on my mind at all. They need to fucking stop. Okay? So that was the comment that I wrote underneath it. So I was on a ranting spree. Okay, and then Alex McDonald chimes in. Okay, this is the perp. This is the perp. Says, now correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't kicking a door off when children are in the home hurting them? You've made videos and posts about 2 children for the last 3 years. This isn't true, actually. I've made post about the whole family for 3 years, not just the children. So this perp is blaming her children again. That's the type of shit that she does. I've seen some vile things you've said about kids, and before you whip out that race card, who talked about race? Who talked about race on here? This is how I know it was the perp. Because this is the first comment they made. This comment right here did not talk about race at all. All right? So, before you use the race card, whip out the race card, they are kids. One of them has special needs. Okay, all right. Now, this is where I have doubts about this because this perp who is writing right now, they've been known to lie. All right? So I personally think the child might not have special needs. If they do, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll give them that. You know, the younger child is usually the more honest one. That's not something that's really special needs related. The younger one tends to be spoiled more. Well, spoiled more, not entirely spoiled, but spoiled more. The younger one tends to be spoiled more and they tend to be less inhibited. that doesn't take special needs. So I think this person might be lying, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it's true for now. Again, not an excuse, but some kids don't learn like others, and if you can use your mental health special needs can be brought up here too. Baby, I don't have special needs. Like, what the fuck is this person talking about? I have mental health issues, but it's not the same as special needs. When I was younger, I didn't have problems learning like that. It was entirely mental health issues, like epilepsy. I had childhood epilepsy. I had like that type of shit. That's not learning difficulties. That's not special needs. Those are disabilities. That's what they are. And this person's just like, yo, okay. If you can use your mental health special needs can be brought up here too. It's absolutely ridiculous that you constantly target these kids. Oh, this is so immoral. It's absolutely ridiculous that you constantly target these kids and say the most vile things about them. I can't work out how in your mind you believe you haven't harmed two kids when you've kicked the door open to their home, then they had to leave and go and stay with family somewhere else. Make it make sense. Because you are not good for them, Emma. You're not good for them. That's why they had to stay somewhere else. You're not a good mother. You fucked them over in so many different ways. Of course they had to stay somewhere else. Even if I didn't get involved in the shit. Something had to give. You put these kids in so many problems. They had to go somewhere else. What else was there? What else had, like, of course they had to go somewhere else to be protected. They need to be away from you. You are a monster. Anyway, this is what I wrote in response. Again, I'm not blind to the trauma that can come from children witnessing you and the rest of the adults getting your asses beat. But you needed somebody to beat your asses, and with the breaking of the door, you're lucky I stopped there for 3 reasons. Now, baby, you guys are going to need to just pull up a chair. Pull up a chair. If you really want to stay for the duration of this video, pull up a chair, get some snacks or something, like have it playing in the background, because this is going to be some long shit. Okay? I said to Alex McDonald, 1, you take absolutely no responsibility for your actions. That special needs child you speak of, you've been saying racist thing after racist thing in front of that kid. Ableist thing after ableist thing in front of that kid. And your other one. So why wouldn't they come after me? Why wouldn't they be scared at me laughing too loud? You taught them that. On top of that, you can't shut the fuck up worth of shit. Every single time a black person gets the better of you, you and your dumbass sister are out here N-wording it up. These children are following the most important people in their lives, and those people failed them before they even got a chance to live yet, in ways I couldn't even think of. You taught them hatred. You taught them fear. You taught them lack of accountability, cowardice, and malice. Whilst I'm not sorry for what I've said at all about your kids, and I stand in that, the hurt they feel from my words is nothing compared to the hurt that you've actually caused them. Plus, there was one time you almost hit your younger one. Your elder kid had to step in, and I would never have done such a thing at your big age. For that and the above reasons, you needed your ass beat. Alex McDonald said, no, you're lucky. Let's not get it twisted. Again, obsessed much I ain't Emma. Babe. Babe, I was right there. I was right. You could have come downstairs anytime. All you did, I was right there. You stood up there screeching. You told me to take the gloves off. I took the gloves off. I tried every single thing to get your ass outside. And you wanted to stand up there talking that shit. Lucky where? Baby, this ain't what you want, okay? Go. Number 2. You drag those kids into a situation where not only would they be rewarded for horrible behavior that they've inflicted on me for the last 3 years, you raise those kids to be pigs for slaughter. Really listen to this. Again, with being a targeted individual, there's at least a chance that we can stop gang stalking and save innocent lives from cruel and unusual punishment where they are tortured to death for population control. But when you are a perp, there is no chance of getting out without you being tortured to death right along with us. You're not just accomplices, you are witnesses. And given how many flying monkeys you've enlisted in your smear campaigns against me, if you were to ever speak out, either there's a good chance more than a few people would believe you and join the TI cause, or the people you once recruited would turn on you to protect themselves. Either way, the people that hired you can't take the risk. And that's what you dragged your kids into, including one with special needs. Good fucking God. Those kids literally have no one on their side. They can't come to me because they've been terrorizing me for 3 years. They can't come to anyone else because they'd have to admit what you all did. They can't come to you because you led them into this situation to begin with. Right? A second reason you deserve to get your asses beat. Laugh react. They were crying. That's baby, they were in tears. They were crying in the corner. That's why that laugh react was there. Off key. So they're moving on. Oh, so we've moved on to my voice now, because sometimes my voice gets off key. Sacrificing children to gangstalking is entirely tuneless, but okay. And Alex McDonald said, report what you like, you have my name. And then I responded, mate, the police are protecting the gangstalking, so they're going to protect your actions. My reporting your behavior is not going to give you a way out. Sorry. And then number 3, we've got to get into that. And this is probably the most egregious. You are lying, selfish, conniving monsters, especially you, Emma. Whenever you have to face accountability for your actions in relation to the gang stalking you did, you immediately use your children as shields. As for the race card, when you immediately see that you have a black neighbor and let the words "I can't live with immigrants" slide out of your face, how the fuck are you about to tell me not to play the race card you've been playing since you fucking got here? But let's get back to you blaming your kids for your behavior. Remember when your harassment of me got so bad, other neighbors had to call the police on your ass? And you immediately blamed your kids? Remember when I told you the first time I wanted to square the fuck up almost a couple of years back, and that bespectacled moron who used to come here went straight to trying to use your children's fear to get out of an argument? That brings me to my next point. Even now in this comment section, Emma, you are using your fucking kids as a shield. I might cuss them out and I might not be sorry at all, but I'm not blind to the trauma I've contributed to, and I know it's not a good situation. I also know you have a lot of fucking nerve talking about trauma given everything you put them through and ultimately how lonely you've left them. Let me guess. The special needs child is getting the blame for everything because they're incapable of being inauthentic with the hatred you taught them to have, unlike the rest of your family. It seems like I'm not the only one who's been betrayed by the people she loved. A third reason you needed and deserved to have your asses beat. That there should be enough for you to digest. Again, have the day you deserved. Because Alex McDonald came on this post first, but I responded to this post second. So I'm going to go on to the next one. Yeah, these people. My God. Okay. That's just Empress Justice stuff. Empress Justice Tarot. And astrology is on YouTube. Go and like and subscribe. Okay. Subliminals out the way. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Those are a couple of lives that I filmed of myself. I might delete one of them because it's got personal info on it. So, let me see. This is the thing. The more I think about the almost fight, the more I realize how well within my rights I was. Every time I argue with the perp, I go through layer after layer of why it was justified. After I've discussed Alex McDonald, I'll talk about this in a minute. I'll talk about this in a minute after I discuss the comments. Okay, so Okay, so this is where I've written again. At first, it was simply because of the verbal goading for 3 years. Then I remember they've tried to get me sectioned and my social media accounts taken down purely for making fun of them. That's one. Two, they've been breaking into my house and bragging about contaminating my foodstuffs or vandalizing my property. This is up to yesterday, by the way. This is up to last night. Because as I was waiting for my takeout, suddenly I hear hocking and spitting noises from next door. That is not something that's a normal thing that they do. That's a gaslight. That's a gaslight that they normally do in order to get me afraid that maybe they've spit in my stuff. When all else fails, that's what they'll use. So they did that up to last night. In some cases, even when they don't contaminate my stuff, they've lied about actually doing it to get a rise out of me. Plus, they've stolen from my flat at least once. That's two. Three, like multiple perps, they've used the death of my mother to try to get a rise out of me. And even then, they only quickly stopped when they realized that nothing they could say could hurt more than her being murdered by the same program they're in, by the way, to begin with. Number four, one of the times they broke in, the month I was in London mourning my mother, they used £400 worth of my electric. Number five, they've gone around spreading rumors that I threatened to hurt children on top of other rumors to try to make me look as insane and dangerous as possible to simple-minded idiots who are probably low-key racist anyway. I was even called a nonce at one point in order to get a reaction from me. Number six, the constant fucking slurs. Number seven, the constant fucking lies. Then number eight, they're supposed to be number eight, but there's a dapper gentleman with shades there instead. Them weaponizing their own vulnerability and fear to get away with evil behavior and rally their friends and family around them to escalate a situation just so I can be moved or harmed without them risking their reputations. Number nine, messing with my spiritual supplies or rifling through them to see what rumors they can spread about my fucking practice. Number 10, trying to have me sectioned in an attempt to stop me doing my spiritual practice. And make no mistake, that's exactly what all of this is. They've been baiting me ever since that almost fight. And they've been baiting me to get me sectioned partially because they can't see any other way of getting me out because, the whole fight thing failed. So they're trying to bait me again to see if they can actually get me out of here. That's the first reason. The second reason is my spirituality makes them look bad. Now, I'm not going to say why. They know why. It makes them look bad. It makes them look like the selfish, conniving monsters they are. So they want to stop me doing it so that because they feel like that, you know what, I'm not even going to go into that. But just know that anything that even remotely empowers you as a targeted individual, they're going to target that shit. And then I say, mate, I haven't even listed everything. How many times did I want to throw hands in the entire 3 years of this fuckery? Twice. Let's be clear. The reason this family cannot sleep is because of the fear of the ramifications of their actions, biting them in the arse daily. So after that, Alex McDonald says, making fun of two kids. You see, this is what I first responded to because it was the most recent post. It said, making fun of two kids again, make it make sense. It's bullying. I had no chill at all. I just had no fucking chill. I said, Emma, is that you? I said, Emma, is that you? Like, clearly not seen the size difference. So it is you. Like, I wasn't buying it. I said, so it is you. Look, either you can go ahead and admit to everything you've been doing, or you can go ahead and keep suffering embarrassment after embarrassment on top of the traumatizing situation you landed your whole family in without my help. It's up to you. Laugh reaction. Alex McDonald. And this is true. On top of that, didn't the police tell both sides of this argument to stay away from each other and stop antagonizing each other? And as always, both in real life and online, you failed. Then Alex went, you've posted these since the police came. Are you thick? No. And then I'm like, since the police came where? Alex McDonald. Like, I don't think the police came to your house, Alex McDonald, unless you're not Alex McDonald, dummy. And then on top of that, I said, since the police came, I guess that's more evidence for them, since they're definitely looking at my page. Have the day you deserve. So I left that there. That's where I left it. That was the first group of replies that I gave. And I'm going to get into this. So there you have it. I think I'm going to swap mics. Hang on. You guys can hear me. So those were the groups of replies that I left to this Alex McDonald person. It's Emma. It's the perp. She did that because she thought she was smart. She's not even the first person to do this. Every single time I live close to a neighbor who's gang stalking me, another thing they like to do is they like to come on my Facebook page and pretend to be someone else. Like, shut the fuck up. I know it's you. Like, what are you doing? And as usual, this woman is using her kids as a shield. Leave them fucking kids alone. Even I don't fucking terrorize them as much as you do. Leave them alone. Stop using them as a damn shield. And yet, like, given the situation you've landed them in, how the fuck else are they going to sleep except getting away from this place? You are an awful human you're an awful human being. It's very rare that I meet someone who's like, weak and stupid and evil, and like, usually there's some redeeming quality somewhere. When it came to my gang stalkers, like outside my dad's house, because that person, that neighbor of my dad's, is a coward too. So outside of my dad's house, at least there were some redeeming qualities about some of the gang stalkers that I've been around. When I was in Willesden Green, at least I was dealing with perps who were intelligent. I mean, I could call them stupid as much as I liked, but the truth of the matter is, they weren't fucking stupid. They were just emotional. There's a big difference. At least the both of them are intelligent. At least one of them tried to be honorable. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, one of them was a hardcore narcissist, so she wasn't as smart as she thought she was, but she was still pretty fucking smart. At least those people were smart. At least those people were smart. When I moved into Cricklewood, at least one of them had a conscience. Like, when I moved into the fucking hostel, at least some of them were strong and had some kind of emotional resilience to them. This has to be the first time where I can't see a single redeeming quality. These people they are by no means the most dangerous perps that I've come across, because to this day, they haven't threatened to square up unless I've started at them first. They haven't been violent at all towards me. I'm the one wanting to throw hands, not them. I'm the one wanting to throw hands. I'm the one wanting to beat people's asses, me. I'm the one doing that. They haven't done that. But even then, that's not a redeeming quality, because they're weak. I have never been in a situation, I've been in a situation with more dangerous perps than them, but I haven't been in a situation where the perps are literally the worst. Cowardly, weak, pathetic, dishonest, conniving. I can't think of a single redeeming quality about these people. Every single thing that I thought was good about them, I have to take that back. I can't even say that they're loyal to each other, because you've got a mother who sacrificed her children to gang stalking. I can't think of a single redeeming quality about these people. Not one. And if you want to bring loyalty into the mix, loyalty to what? What are they loyal to? Their own fucking demise. What are they loyal to? The fuck are we talking about here? Those kids have got no one because of these people. No one. And when I say they ain't got nobody, I don't mean they don't have people physically looking after them. But who's going to speak up about the gang stalking that these kids have been roped into? Who's going to protect them enough to say, you know what, this is wrong. We're not going to do this. We're not going to lead these kids to the fucking slaughter. We're going to try and fight for them and for other innocent people. We're going to make sure that not only does it not happen to these children, it's not going to happen to anyone else. Like, who's going to speak up? Not a goddamn soul. Not one. So even when those kids have people around them, they are by themselves. And they can't come this way. The amount of racism that they've been doing, the amount of fucking terrorizing that they've been doing just to get a reaction, they can't come this way. They have no one. And they've been betrayed by everybody around them. It's like looking at myself in a mirror, looking at these kids. It's like looking at myself in a mirror. I've been betrayed by my loved ones, but at least with me, that betrayal was right in front of my face. I had the benefit of knowing what side I was on and knowing that I was on the side that could have like the slimmest chance of survival and doing good in this world. At least I knew where I was. These kids don't know where they are. They're surrounded by people who hug them and kiss them and say, I love you and call them beautiful. And it's those same people that led them right to the fucking slaughterhouse. They have no one. And I'm out here cussing them out. I'm no fucking angel. I'm not perfect. I'm out here cussing out kids, and not only kids who have no one. So I'm not innocent either. Let's get that shit straight right now. I'm not innocent either. At the same time, when I think about the fight that I wanted to have, it made me realize, like, it's like I said before, I wasn't just fighting for me. I was fighting for myself. It was selfish. It's not like it wasn't. These people were fucking baiting me for 3 years to get a reaction. It's just layer after layer of like realizing why I was fighting. I didn't even realize how big the situation was, that like how big the fight actually was. I didn't understand. I didn't realize. I was out here thinking that I was just fighting for myself when the truth is that's not the case at all. I was fighting for people who were better people than me, who were going through worse than me. I was fighting to end genocide for all races of people and not even just my own, not even just TIs. I was fighting to save kids, even the kids who were terrorizing me. I was fighting to save so many people and I didn't even realize that's what I was doing. And I stood face to face with my murderers and I said, hey, square up. And let's be absolutely clear. The two people that I wanted to fight, they look quite young, right? And you know, I wanted to fight an old man and fight a tiny woman. She's strong, but like she's not as strong as me, and she's not trained either. So you know, it's not like my opponents on paper were all that great. If you were to look at my opponents on paper, I'd look like an arsehole. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's the fucking truth. If you saw these people and you saw who I wanted to fuck up, right? I'd look like an arsehole. Now, don't piss me off. You're talking about an old man, like a rickety, crickety former addict with no teeth. And you're talking about like two people who are definitely wet behind the ears. Like, if you were to look at my ops on paper, I would look like a fucking asshole. There is no, like, it's like, if you were to look at this on paper, I'd look like an asshole. And especially given that kids were in the building too. So on top of these 4 people who look like I would actually flatten them, and then you've got 2 kids who are in the building, and with me breaking down the door in a complete rage, if you look at all that situation on paper, I look like a fucking asshole. Let's be clear. And maybe I am an asshole, but I'm my asshole. I'm good. I like myself. You know, asshole or not, I like myself, so it doesn't matter. But when you look beneath the surface of what's on paper, I'm fighting against 4 people who have been complicit in not only genocide against Black and brown people, they've been complicit in the genocide of their community and all the people that they've involved in this shit. Because again, when you're a perp, you're a witness as well as an accomplice. So either they're going to move you out and then they're going to kill you off while they've moved you out, or they're going to kill you off right where you are if you can't move. I've seen so many perps going back to Harlesden. I'm out here like walking around energetic and shit. Remember, you're talking about somebody who's been deliberately debilitated. I'm walking around here energetic and shit. I've seen some perps my age, barely walking, barely functioning. There is one person, one of my dad's neighbors, had been left with trauma because of what they did to me. The shit is not a joke. The shit is not a joke. Like perps and TIs are part of the same experiment. They have always been part of the same experiment. But at least when you're a TI, everybody might laugh at you. Everybody might talk shit. But if you win, you don't just save the lives that are right here in this moment. You save lives in the future. This shit is serious, man. And I am on that side. I'm on the side of people who are fighting for not just myself, but for future generations as well. Those 4 people that I fought against, they're on the side of genocide. They're on the side of behavioral control. They're on the side of far-right government, because far-right government is pro-military. And when they need strong military people, those are not going to be the people that they fucking call. The children might be one thing because they're kids. We don't know which direction they'll go in. But when it comes to the adults, ain't no way, ain't nobody enlisting them in no fucking army. They're going to be killed off. That's what I was up against. That's what I was fighting against. On paper, it doesn't look like much. It just looks like I've wanted to throw hands with a bunch of weak, vulnerable people. But looking deep beneath the surface, I was fighting for my life. I was even fighting for theirs. I didn't fucking know. I didn't understand. And the more I think to myself, like, why do I not regret the fight? Why do I not regret wanting to beat their ass? Why do I only regret not getting to? And then I have to really think about it. I have to really think about it. Think about what I'm fighting for. Who the fuck cares if people section me? Who the fuck cares if I get evicted from here? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? What I'm fighting for could have saved the same people whose asses I was getting ready to beat, and their kids. And as for this whole, I'm not afraid of you, like I'm not scared of you, like, bitch, you know, that must have been the reason why I spent 10 minutes yesterday crying for my mummy, who's been dead almost a year now. It must have been why I spent the whole of that Monday morning crying my fucking eyes out. Cause, oh, they're not scared of me. Oh, they're not scared of me. Bitch, I was overwhelmed. I've never lost my temper like that before. I've lost my temper, not like that. And even though I don't regret why I lost my temper or what I was getting ready to do, it was still a lot to deal with. It was overwhelming. And again, need I remind everybody, family members of mine have been murdered by this program. Do you seriously think that the first and last thing on my mind is gonna be how scared a bunch of sickly, malnourished, racist urchins are? Get fucking real. And now you're trying to set me up. What good do you think that is going to do? What good do you think that's going to do? On some real shit. What is the outcome of it? If anything, that's going to make your demise and the slaughter of everybody in your life, it's just going to make it more certain. But hey, at least you get to sleep at night. Bro, I cannot. I just can't. I just can't. All this shit because you think I haven't suffered enough for being blacker, bigger, and more intelligent than you. Who could probably beat you the fuck up. Like, really, be real with yourself. If you can do that. Be real with yourself. I really want to congratulate you on one thing though. With that sign off, oh, I don't talk to crazy. I don't talk crazy. At least you finally learned how to shut the fuck up. It really is never too late to learn something. I have to go now. I have to go just do my thing today. Just potter around, do what I do. And I will see you in the next video. And if you are a fellow TI, you've made it this far into the video, drop a comment. Let me know how you are. Okay? I love you all. Peace and blessings. Bye bye, my darling.